Hey Robert, how you doing? Let's go ahead and take a look at your work. And here we are. Okay. Okay, so we've got the logo, white background, dark background, minimum size. Got the word mark, white, black background, minimum size, and then we've got the logo. Logo doesn't have black or white background. We will have to add that to keep consistent. You have minimum size. So the one thing I'm not seeing here is I'm not seeing your typography page. So in other words, we'll have to include a page that indicates what type is being used, what typeface and type style is being used in the word mark, in the logo, and in the monogram. Then we also have we need to add some placement requirements, assured clear distance, things like that, and then finally a no use, couple of summaries of ways not to use the logo. Let me show you what I mean. Okay, so we got the logo, you got the white background. So what I would say, you got your colors. All right, so what you want to do with your colors is you want to say tell which colors are being used in which logo. So right here, this logo, I would include your color palettes right down here. Just include your color palettes right down there in each one. Okay, and then in your word mark, same thing, color palettes used in the word mark, and then color palettes used in the monogram. Then go back and then do your type. So you have your logo. Okay, so you have your logo placement on dark, then you have your colors being used, and then you have your typography being used, and then you have and then what we'll do is we'll establish some no use guidelines, and then your minimum size guidelines, and then we would do the same thing for the word mark as well as the monogram. All right, so basically what you would do then is then you would just show the mark, then indicate the typefaces that are used in the mark, indicate the colors that are used in the mark, and then show the mark on a white background, a dark background, and then we'll get into clear distance. What is clear distance? Clear distance is a way that we can give a sliding scale of how close things can get to our logo in terms of placement. Most companies don't want other elements placed too close to their logo, so we determine a clear area for which to keep clear when other elements are being placed in compositions that hold the logo. Typically what we'll use is, since we can't use a distance, okay, like an inch and a half or something, because that's a sliding scale. Remember, this is scalable, so that would change depending on how big we were going to present the logo. So what we do is we take a piece of the logo and use that as a kind of a measurement to keep that assured clear distance appropriate for the different scale that we intend on using. So we can see the A here. What they've done in the Asana logo is just taken the lowercase a, and then they've placed it right next to the bounding box that holds the logo itself. That's the outer perimeter of all elements. Okay, then you would place the A in the four corners, and then you would connect the lines, and that would be your assured clear distance. So for your logo, you're going to have to figure out what portion you're going to take. I mean, it could be the width of the top of the lock. It could be the G for Guardian. It could be any number of things, but you would do that. You would set up your assured clear distance for your word mark, for your logo mark, as well as your monogram. All right, now as I'm looking through this, you also have your list of non-acceptable presentation variations of the logo itself. So right now, here's what you have. So you want to show this. You want to show your color logo on a white background, your color logo on a dark background. Then you also want to show your one color logo on a light background, your one color logo on a black background, dark background. That's typically a black logo on a white background and a white background on a dark colored logo. But then you have these logo don'ts. Okay, so for yours, for example, you would say, okay, so you don't just show the lock. Okay, or you don't just show the background, or you don't show this tilted or on a diagonal. You don't show it with one color on a white background. You don't show it on grayscale on a dark background. These are no gradients in the background, no gradients in the mark itself, and then other assorted rules and regulations as to what you can and can't do when viewing the logo. So those are the things that I would like to see added to your piece here. I also want to say right here, this piece right here has been stretched. I can see it by the shape of network security. That's been stretched, and we can see that right when we compare it to this right here. That hasn't been stretched. This has been stretched. So you're kind of, I guess you're breaking your branding rules in your own branding guide. So that's something you definitely want to maintain consistency on your presentation of your logo. These have both definitely been stretched. And basically what that results of is you've tried to change the size. So when this was placed, I'm guessing you selected it and went and changed the size and stretched it horizontally without constraining the vertical proportions. And that is what has kind of caused this distortion. Whenever you're resizing things, when you take your cursor and hold it over that corner bounding box, you want to hold your shift key down and shift drag to resize, because that's going to constrain the proportions and it's going to prevent any sort of distortions like we see here. All right, so those are my recommendations moving forward. If you have any questions at all, please let me know. Thank you very much.